Hello, welcome to the Game Dojo. It's your boy, the Game Ninja, and I'm just gonna say, with the recent casting of the God of War live action series, I'm done. I'm done with television, modern television. I'm done with modern movies. I'm done with it all. Like, you take the most successful game franchises that are in the leagues of high, and you sit there and you could be like, I don't want nobody who knows the game, I don't want nobody who plays the game, I don't want nobody who has the subject matter of the game, and we're gonna put them together and make the greatest television show in the world or the greatest movie in the world. And it hasn't worked out time and time and time and time again. You can go all the way back to Mario Brothers. You can go all the way back. It annoys me, and it's asinine how many times. And I've actually heard it from directors and producers and people who write the stories and the scripts to these things. Oh, well, we wanted to go another way. If being content accurate was a problem, then why are you making the property? Losing Henry Cavill on The Witcher because he wanted to stick to the subject matter is proof that you are going the wrong way. How did that season fare for you? The Last of Us, we all know where it was going. We all knew season 2. We knew the game itself, part 2, was a very, very harshly received game after beating Joel to death and killing the main character off at the beginning. It was a harsh thing to do. And with the new TV series, you had a chance to rectify a ginormous mistake that you made, but instead you made all new ones. Resident Evil. The animated movies kick more ass than the actual live action movies. I like Welcome to Raccoon City out of all the adaptations. The Mila Jovovich shit, I don't know what that was. That's not Resident Evil. I can stomach maybe part 1 and part 2. Part 2 mainly for Mike Epps, to see him in there with the golden guns. But I am going to say, when is enough enough? I am sick and tired of you bastardizing video games that literally are huge successes and absolute main franchises, and you just rip through them. Oh yeah, I got the general idea. Let's go ahead and make the movie. The new Street Fighter movie. You just put names to the people in it. And people are just like, yeah, I'm excited to see 50 Cent be Balrog. Nothing against 50 Cent. Do y'all remember the Van Damme Street Fighter movie? How do you think that movie did? How do you think that movie was received? When you go back to Mortal Kombat, the movie, you have had Mortal Kombat, the new movie, and then you've had the sequel. I call it Sub-Zero, Part 1. And now you have a new movie that keeps getting pushed back, and you want people to know how awesome it is. When the commercial for Mortal Kombat 2, the commercial, most of us remember that. Most of us remember that commercial with Baraka hitting, coming out there with the blades on, Katana with the blue mask, the pit in the background, the Deadpool, Shao Kahn breaking trees, walking through there. That concept is better than any Mortal Kombat movie you have given us. Mortal Kombat 1, back in 95, that movie, I saw it, the midnight screening of it in theaters with Dolby Digital Deluxe sound. And let me tell you something. They captured more of the essence of the game than you did with 3 and 4 decades of technology and big buckets of money. This is a rant, and I'm sorry, but you need to leave video games alone. Hollywood has come to the point where it's either comic books or video games, and that's all the movies that you're doing. And you're messing up the video games, and you're messing up the comic book movies. Leave it alone. If you can't do it justice, leave it alone. With the exception of a few series that I will say is actually pretty good. Twisted Metal. Now, I played Twisted Metal back in the day on PlayStation, and I thought I loved it and I knew it. And then I watched the Twisted Metal series, and I'm like, well, this went off in a totally different direction. Get the hell out of here. There's a guy with wheels who drinks gasoline and he shoots guns and he rides around on gigantic wheels. I went back and played Twisted Metal Black on PlayStation. I went back to play Twisted Metal Black. And what you know it, the first in the character select screen is a guy who drinks gasoline with gigantic wheels that his arms are attached to that shoots guns. I had never been more happy in my entire life to not know what I knew when I found it. Yeah, decipher that. Twisted Metal shot skyrocket to me. For the simple fact that when I went back and played the games to the new TV series, it did more justice to Twisted Metal than I ever dreamed and believed. And I wasn't really a big Twisted Metal fan back in the day. I loved it, I played it, but I wasn't the hugest Twisted Metal fan. But going back from watching the television show to actually playing the games, I'm like, if it makes me want to play the game, you've hit something. You've hit a nerve with gamers. Last of Us Season 1 on HBO. You made me go back. I went and found remastered copies, and I wanted to play The Last of Us again until Season 2. You ruined it. We're not going to talk about that. Resident Evil on... I don't want to speak about it because a lot of people was like, well, why is Wesker black? Have you played Resident Evil 5? I got gold version. Have you played Resident Evil 5? Takes place in Africa. There is a event that happens in Africa in these sovereign nations, and I'm just gonna say who you pair it with. Good God. But it explains the series if you're a fan. People who weren't fan of the series, people who were fans of the Mila Jovovich stuff, was like, this is not Resident Evil. And then people who've played maybe one game in their entire life was like, oh, Wesker's not black. Why does he look like Blade? There is an explanation if you go back and replay Resident Evil 5. You can play Gold, but play Resident Evil 5, you'll get your explanation. Not the best articulated version of a Resident Evil series. Like I said, I defer to Raccoon City. It is a hell of a lot better. If you play Resident Evil 2 Remake and you go and watch Welcome to Raccoon City, you can be like, hey, I just verbatim played those parts. That is attention to detail. And it seems like the more detail-oriented you are when it comes to video game adaptations, the worse they're received. The crappier they are, the better they're received. There are people who hail Mario Brothers, the animated movie, in high esteem. I do not. I am not one of them. In the aspect of holding Super Mario Brothers with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo in the new Super Mario Brothers movie, I will take the Super Mario Brothers movie with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. And for 3 reasons, and I'll tell you what, because I've said it before, and I'm just going to case close it, and I'm not going to say it again. Number 1, Mario did not have to be taught how to be Mario. That is some new woke bullshit. I'm not accepting it. I'm not eating it. Number 2, Luigi got put in a corner to be saved, like the princess, because that's the princess's role in Mario Brothers. I'm sorry, Mario, your princess is in another castle. Mario Brothers, the Super Mario Brothers, save the princess. That is the theme of the game. That has always been the theme of the games, except for Super Mario Brothers 2, where you could be the princess, but Luigi wasn't in trouble at that time. But you made it, once again, about wokeness and the princess having power. She taught Mario how to fight, Mario how to be super. Mario and Luigi saved the princess, a simple premise from a game. And you shoved your narrative down my throat to the point where they needed a star to do anything in the movie. It wasn't about Jack Black being a simp as Bowser. Anybody who's ever come up against Bowser in any Mario game knows there's a difference. You made Bowser a freaking game. He's not. Just like you made Donkey Kong, and the Kong's the inventor of Mario Kart. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry for the language. I apologize. The Kongs did not invent Mario Kart. And any really Mario Kart player will tell you that shit because it annoys me. Funky Kong, Diddy Kong, Daisy Kong, Donkey Kong, Robbie Bobby, Ricky and Mike. Fuck all the Kongs. Because in the game, they are the bitches that always wipe you out. Unless you pick Donkey Kong, they are always to the side of you. And any gamer you can go up and watch. You can watch Dashie, you can watch Corey, you can watch anybody who does gameplay, anybody who's ever played Mario Kart. No, the Kongs are bastards when it comes to Mario Kart. And for you to give them Mario Kart, the Kongs invented Mario Kart. Get the fuck out of here. I am so sick of video game adaptations going to movies and being bastardized. You don't play the games. Just recently, I heard on the Fallout series that some of the people didn't know the content, so they started playing the game. That's great in a movie in a TV series that you're playing that's from a video game series. Now, don't get me wrong. There were very few episodes that felt exactly like the game, but they finally got it right. I'm watching season 2. And season 2 starts off slow. But as it goes into episode 3, 4, and 5, I actually, as a gamer, hit on notes verbatim in the game. The roaches attack. The gigantic devil horn. Death claws. There is just so much that you hit into it. And that strikes home with a gamer because that is the audience you're looking for. You're trying to cross over mainstream people. What mainstream person is going to know what caps are and what caps are used for? If you walk up to somebody and ask them what caps are, you ask them what a pit boy is. They don't know what a pit boy is. You go up there and ask them, what's Vault-Tec? What's a rep from Vault-Tec? They don't know. They don't know about the canine dog companions. They don't know about those things. Your job as a movie maker or a TV series maker is to bridge the gap between the game, the fans, and the people who just want to be entertained. Like I said, going back to it, I watched Until Dawn. There is an Until Dawn, I don't know if it's a director's cut, whatever version that I saw just recently after it came out on stream. I didn't get it until I actually watched it with my gamer eyes and how it led in there. If you played Frank Casting Frank Stone, you got the origin of Dead by Daylight. A lot of people didn't get that, but that's what it was. In the Until Dawn movie, they were leading into the Until Dawn game series that we know, which is why the end was the beginning of that area that we saw in the game. But you shouldn't have started with that. You should have started with the content people know and then do a prequel. That would have been better. But having said that, I understand that. I give you a pass for that. There are a few video game to real life series and video games to movies that have actually been predominantly well. And when they do it video game accurate, they're not received well by the public. And that's because the public mainly isn't gamers. You're taking gaming content and making it into a movie, and then you make it true to life, and then people don't feel it because they don't play the game. They don't know. You know how many people didn't know about The Last of Us when you came out with The Last of Us series? A lot of people didn't know that. But the gamers were there day one because to finally see Joel, Ellie, and The Last of Us being put together in real life was something we wanted to see. But when it comes to video game adaptations to movies and television, you prove that after 5 decades, you still can't do it. And it's funny because the script is written right for you. What made the video game successful is right for you, right in front of you, right there. That's why the game is a hit. The storyline, the actors, and the people in it. When you literally take it over to make a TV series or a movie, why do you make it your vision? Your vision is not what's chipping. The game's vision is what's chipping. That's why Sonic did what they did. Sonic showed us a trailer. Remember way back, the first trailer for Sonic before it came out? And the public shit on it. They hated it. Every single last thing about it. But the makers of the company rectified it. They listened. They understood. The makers and the gamers and the fandom and the fan base. They wanted a product that sells. They went back, they redesigned, they revamped it, and now Sonic is on what, its 4th movie? And the Sonic movies are pretty damn good. when you listen to your fan base, when you listen to the people that you want to buy tickets, that's when you get a success. But the problem is you give us your vision, your version of what we love, and then you get pissed off and blame us when we don't support it and we don't like it. Nah. It's 2026, and you just showed that nothing has changed. I saw in 2026, here's a little something to chew on. 42 movies that come out this year are sequels, remakes, prequels, remasters. No original thought anymore. There are billions of games, billions of stories, billions of books, billions of comics, billions of superheroes that you guys can make a movie into. But you don't think about it. I just played Dispatch. You could turn Dispatch into a hell of a movie that people would watch, or a streaming series and people would watch, both animated or real life. But you're not going to do that. Nah, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. Now, as much as I have hope for the God of War series live action, and I don't want to feel slighted by them, I think not even considering Christopher Judge the voice of Kratos. He is Kratos. He has been Kratos. He is Kratos. And I understand you guys want to go for the best look to you guys of him. But are you going to give him that Christopher Judge voice? Are you going to give him the acting, the level of acting that Christopher Judge brings to the game that made the game such a success? No, you're not. You're going to give us your version. And I'm going to tell you, who you picked for Kratos would make an excellent Thor if you go into the game series. He would be a perfect Thor. But no, you're not going to do that. You're going to give us the series you want to give us. Not the series the fans deserve. You're going to give us the series you want to give us. And that's the problem. And the problem is we keep doing these over and over and over again. So much to the point that there are so many failed video game to movie TV series franchises and people are just like, yeah, there's no market there. No, there is a market there. The games prove it. Selling 1 billion copies of a game proves it. But it's almost as if you don't want to succeed anymore. It's like you don't want movies to be good. You don't want TV series to be good. You don't want things to succeed anymore. I mean, think about it. We just went through that entire Stranger Things season 5 fiasco. And I'm like, as bad as that was, as bad as it was received, as bad as you, the creators of it, did a horrible job with season 5. And now that the making is out and we got to see the holes, the cracks, and how the sausage was made, we understand why it was shit. So much to the point that fans was holding on to a special episode coming because that couldn't have possibly been your end. But in seeing that, I asked the question, hey, Netflix, you had another series that was absolutely phenomenal. Knocked it out of the park. So many people watched, it crashed your network. All of Us Are Dead. The zombie series, The Kids in School, we were waiting for season 2. We're going on, what, 5 years now? Oh, but you won't put no light into that. You won't put no life into that. I don't understand. Do you not want to make money? Do you not want to have a product that sells? Do you not want to receive what we used to look as an admiration? Because, look, as a gamer, I always got games. They're great stories, great worlds, great project building, great lore building. There's tons of things. Like, why isn't there a Dragon Age movie? Oh, nah, you can't do that. Hogwarts Legacy. Y'all working so hard to make a Harry Potter TV series on HBO where you race swapped everybody and woke and changed everything up in the same point. But on the same token, you could have made a Hogwarts Legacy movie. The game sold more than 1 billion copies. The story by Warner Brothers was so well received that the only way to slide it was to hide it from award shows. But success cannot be hitting. Where's the Hogwarts Legacy? Nah, you don't want to do that one, right? Nah, don't want to do that one. Guys, We live in a world where mediocre and mediocrity doesn't have to be, and I always say this on this channel in 24K movies, TV shows, and video game reviews. The number one thing, if you've watched this channel, you heard me say, is I quote George from Seinfeld a billion times here. The season and the episode where they're pitching their actual show to NBC. And he's like, what did you do? You got up? Yeah, you went to work? There's an episode. What do you mean there's an episode? That's right, there's an episode. You got up and came to work? There's an episode. And he's like, I don't understand. He's like, well, say something happened. Jerry was like, well, say something happened funny today. And George was like, no, nothing happens. Nothing happened. That's an episode. And the guy's like, well, why am I watching it? Because it's on TV. That's what they're doing to us. As funny as that line hits, that's what they're doing to us. Why am I watching it? Because it's in theaters. Why am I watching it? Because it's on TV. And that's the really sick part. You used to yearn to entertain us. We used to yearn to get autographs from our favorite actors and actresses because they took our favorite ideas and stories and made something of them. What are we left with now? You see a guy chewing bubble gum on the corner, oh, he'll be an absolute fabulous for this movie. Never had acting school, never had acting talent, never had any kind of classing. They don't all have to be classically trained actors, but you do have to be talented. And I'm so sick of watching movie after movie after movie, and I'm like, what the hell did I just watch? And then it's credits. There is an oversaturating of mediocrity in mediocre movies and television shows. You will give a great show like The Bondsman. The Bondsman with Kevin Bacon. That was original and broad. It felt like Supernatural could somehow be tied to that show. Remember the show Supernatural? The great critically acclaimed show Supernatural, Sam and Dean Winchester? The Bondsman felt like it was steeped in that lore, and there was so much into it, and it was so great, and it went so great over with the fans, but you guys like, no. Let's give him another season of Grey's Anatomy. Let me tell you something. I stopped watching Grey's Anatomy when you killed off all the people that I knew on the show. It's like 1 or 2 people left. I mean, you couldn't even keep Christina Yang on the show. Like, dude, come on. You did the same thing with NCIS. You did the same thing with Law and Order. It's like you spin off to make a spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off, and to the point where it's just so watered down, you don't have a product anymore. So why are you making it? Why are you investing money into it? Because it can't be somebody out there who's okay with losing money on all these projects. $400 million for season 5 of Stranger Things. You had 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years to complete it. And you blame Netflix. You blame Netflix for timing, budget constraints on your product, your show. You forgot how to write your own damn show. And then it had so many plot holes in it. I'm like, are the same people who created season 1 even a part of season 5? And that's what happens. But in the midst of all of that, because Stranger Things season 5 started and then it stopped because they wanted you to hold to come in for Christmas and New Year's so you can watch the New Year's and the Christmas show, that Welcome to Derry came out. And you know what? They boasted about how great the show would be. Fact. They went against a lot of the censors and the people who told them not to do certain things, and they did it. They went so far with Welcome to Derry, that the first episode, minutes into the first episode, was all you needed to see to know you were in for a ride that had no censorship whatsoever. And that's the way Pennywise and Stephen King's It lore should have been. Maturin the Turtle, a lot of people didn't know about that. You brought that to the light. The Bradley Gang Massacre, you brought that to light. In just a few episodes, you brought more to the life and world of Pennywise the Clown, than 2 movies or 4 movies, including the older ones in the 90s, ever did. You expanded a lore that a lot of people never even know they needed in their life. Periwinkle, the Black Spot, things that people who read the book understood and only knew were brought to life in vibrant color and murderous, absolute, bloody viscera. And you know what? You delivered a product that the world went crazy over. Every time it dropped, Welcome to Derry, people were there again. Like The Walking Dead when it was great. Like Game of Thrones when it was great. People showed up in groves. When that little jingle came on, ding, 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 ding. A smile is something special. A ribbon is something rare. So I'll be special and I'll be rare with a smile and a ribbon in my hair. Do you know why that song lives rent-free in people? Do you know why people walk around singing that song? Do you know why there were TikToks and Instagrams and Facebook posts? Do you know why? It's because the people who delivered the product understood the fans, the fan base, and they delivered it and it knocked it out of the park. You know who else did that? Deadpool and Wolverine. Ryan Reynolds told the executives at Disney what needed to happen with this Marvel property. They didn't want him. They fought him around every corner. They wanted to woke it up. They wanted to change the ideals like they do with every property they own. He stuck to his guns. He was hated for it. He was publicly crucified for it, so much to the point that they didn't even want him anymore. And he delivered something for the fans that the fans wanted and the fans enjoyed. Go back and Google, go on YouTube and look up videos when Blade walked on a screen, when Channing Tatum, because there was a time where Channing Tatum was going to be Gambit and we were so excited for it, but the Gambit you gave us was the Gambit you wanted to give us. No disrespect to the actor, but what the hell was that? What the hell was the first Deadpool that you gave us with no mouth with Ryan Reynolds? I'm so glad he went back and killed that off and rectified it. And as much as you hate the guy for what he is, or what he's doing, or what he supports, he delivered a product that the fans wanted and needed. And people showed up in groves with their money. Take my money. Look at the success of Deadpool and Wolverine. Look at the success. When you deliver what your fans want, what they crave, what they ask you for, you will never have a product that fails. Never. But for some reason, Hollywood just can't do that. So I'm sorry for ranting for this long, but I just wanted to let you guys know I am officially done. I'm done with adaptations. I'm done with recreations, reimaginations. I'm done with all of it, because you've proven over and over and over again till we can puke coat hangers that you cannot be trusted with these IPs, intellectual properties. You cannot be trusted with the content, because you take what you want and you make it into a tailored suit for you and the world. Not the fans, not the subject matter, not the story. Just shut your mouth and tell a great story. That's what people want. Escapism, lore, adventure, fantasy, drama, horror, comedy, whatever genre you make, shut the hell up about your opinions, the world views, and the woke factors. Deliver the movie you want to make. Not your way, but the subject matter way. And you'll have fans run up to you. Take my money. Take it. I don't have it to give, but take it. Take it all. And this is across the board. Gaming, television, movies, music. If you really step back and take a comprehensive look and really just examine all of it, how can you be okay with shit? How can you be okay with the shit you're being delivered? Be honest. I'm not talking about loving it because your favorite actor is in it or your favorite actress is in it. I'm talking about be 100% transparent. How good is it really? Because there are people who can be great in shit movies, and then there are shit movies that people are just not great in, and then you have your favorite actors that you want to support them in their endeavors, but sometimes it just don't work out. As patrons who deliver your hard-earned money that you don't have, that you barely hold on to, that in a world that's outpacing you to take everything you have and hold dear, support only the products you want to endorse, and they'll get the message. Stop endorsing shit. Stop seeing things because they're on TV. Stop seeing things because they're in the movies. You deserve better. You do. This is the Game Ninja from 24K Movies and TV Shows Reviews saying, I'm done. I've had enough, man. Until you can prove you can be trusted with these IPs, I don't support it no more. And you know what? I have very few tomorrows and a ton of yesterdays, and I ain't gonna waste them on shit anymore. Sorry. So you can be as happy as you want with your product. You can throw as much publicity out there for your product. At the end of the day, I don't care. I can't care anymore. Because you've proven to me over and over and over again that it's not the fans that matter. It's not the viewpoint that matter. It's not the stories that matter. It's the narrative. The funding. Let me ask you something. And I'll leave you with this before I'm done. $400 million for season 5 of Stranger Things. If you go back and really watch the episodes, where do you think that $400 million went? Look at some of the CG. Look at some of the other parts of it. Go back to watch the original seasons. Season 1, 2, and 3, 4. Go back and look at the lesser seasons. The ones that didn't take 4 and 5 years to be made. Go back and look at the level of quality, both CG and intrigue. It comes down to just laziness, people. You gonna tell me in season 1 that the upside down is air you breathe, is toxic and you'll die, and not too many people can last there for more than a day or two, to fast forward to season 5 where they're setting underground bunkers and labs and facilities and military bases and just, vacationing down there and breathing this poisonous air, You don't even believe your own source material anymore. And you don't care. You didn't even care. Where was the quality control? Where was the questions? Where was the should we? You didn't. You didn't think. You just saw the $400 million, and that's all that mattered. And look, if that's what you want, that's what you want. But don't claim you did it for fans, and don't blame fans when they don't support it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, they need to do better. They can do better. But until they listen, I think you need to withdraw your funds, your support, and be 100% transparent with these projects. Because they're hoping to get you in the seats by the subject matter. But if they ain't true to the subject matter, then what are they delivering? The same movie you've seen 1,000 times in a different candy-coated wrapper. I'm going to say something that's probably going to mess up with some few people. That new Chris Pratt movie where he's charged with the death of his wife before it happens, pre-crime. Everybody's talking in the commercials of how great the concept is and how amazing it is that, there's a force of people who, stop crimes and charge people before the crimes happen. And I'm the only one in the world that remembers Minority Report. I'm the only one that remembers the precogs and the pre-crime division arresting people for crimes they commit before they commit it. Am I the only one that remembers Tom Cruise being arrested for a murder that he didn't commit yet? But this new, brand new idea is groundbreaking and amazing. You're taking the same shit, rewrapping it, and putting it in another rapper. And I can't do it, dude. I can't do it. Let me tell you something. Total Recall, the original, stands as Total Recall, the original. I said it. The Running Man, Arnold stands as the original. It stands as the better version. And when you start seeing these movies and you understand the reasons why, we didn't need a remake. It was done right the first time. You have no more ideas. You can't be original. You can't change it and become something new. No. Where is the originality? Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, remember, you don't have to settle for less. Show them your disdain with your dollars, and it will change. Till next time, I'll see you guys.